shit out of them. Only Rosie O'Donnell. Crooked Joe Biden. No, get those lights off! Off! He died like a dog. He died like a coward. You can't do it. It's disgusting. 死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。絶望の匂いだ。面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君もまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランドスライドまで
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そうそうそうそう、やらせるで。
I didn't even add myself. What a retard. That's what happens when you miss a stream for one day. I'm not even prepared. Hello, everyone. Welcome into CobraCast 199. I'm your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. I'm like, why is my microphone picking up? I'm backstage because I'm an idiot. But happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. Welcome in. It is CobraCast, and I have a good excuse for why I am retarded today. Just for today. My excuse is that I watched Supergirl today. And oh my goodness. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. We also have a lot of big news with the Supreme Court. That's right. Supreme Court basically said, get these illegals the fuck out. We're going to talk about that. Tucker Carlson has completely turned his back on MAGA and shown the world who he is. And, of course, we're playing Titanfall tonight because it's going to be a good, fun night. We got Mar Millen for 20 on Rumble. Pre-stream chat grift tax. Let's freaking go. Hail to you, Mar Millen. Nandy 450. So it's about time Supreme Court rules in favor of immigration, whether it be refusing asylum seekers from the southern border or removal of TPS of Haitians and Syrians. They are quiet when Biden used bulldozers to lift the border fences, but got a problem now. Yeah, it is about time that they ruled in favor of this because we're sick and tired of it. But you know what the big concern is there? You still had 3 people on the Supreme Court that voted against it. You still had 3 people on the Supreme Court that literally voted against America. Pay attention to that, because a lot of people will get caught up on the fact that it was a 6-3 in favor of Trump. But the fact is that we shouldn't have 3 people on the fucking Supreme Court that literally hate America, and we do. We have 3 people. We have more than 3, but there's 3 people that literally hate America. And that's one thing that I took away from it right there. But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and jump right into it right here. This is a huge, huge story. And a huge win for the Trump administration. Many wins from the Trump administration. He can't stop winning. So here we go right here.
Fox News alert. Key victories for the Trump administration and for the voters who wanted to firmly secure sovereignty at the border as the onslaught of illegal immigration has been stopped under Trump. The U.S. Supreme Court just decided the president does have the authority to end temporary deportation protections, or TPS. That's a program for millions of foreign nationals living in the United States. The Department of Homeland Security was trying to end the TPS program for more than 6,000 Syrian and some 350,000 Haitian immigrants, along with those from other countries. justices also decided that the administration can restart a policy allowing Customs and Border Protection to curb the number of people that they let in who are seeking asylum at the border between the U.S. and Mexico. Both of those decisions went 6-3.
6-3.
In terms of how the justices voted. Let's dig in deeper. This was such a huge issue for voters. And really,
it's the issue.
President Trump on his first term on the map for setting up even more to come now in a second term.
It is the issue. Illegal immigration is the single most important issue facing the United States of America, and it's not even close. It is affecting every fabric of our life, every single fabric of our life. It is the single most important topic, and it's like you can't even find what's second place.
We're seeing it. Shannon Bream is with me, chief legal correspondent and anchor of Fox News Sunday, and Jonathan Turley is here, Fox News contributor and constitutional law attorney. Jonathan, I come to you first on just what kind of victory we're talking about and how this does further that anticipation and the reason why so many people voted for Trump about securing our border.
This was a bonanza of a day for the Trump administration, particularly on immigration. The court here reversed lower court judges that some of us had criticized for usurping what are largely executive orders. What's particularly telling in the case involving the border is that the Biden administration had lifted a policy called metering that was put into place by the Obama administration. That's how far the Biden people went in trying to facilitate people entering the country. That policy was then reinstated and expanded by the Trump administration. And the issue here is, are you really in the United States if you're not? If you're on the other side of the border? And the dissent really comes across as almost Clinton-esque, as saying, well, it depends what the meaning of in is.
Oh, boy.
And, you know, you don't have to be actually in to be in the country.
Shannon, you know, when you take a look at just the numbers of people, I want to toggle to the TPS program now, that temporary protected status. This is something that, again, that DHS has been trying to deal with because there's so many people here under that protection. What does this do?
Yeah, essentially it says that the current administration, now that could be a Biden administration, it could be any administration, a Trump administration, that they have the power to make a decision about when to end temporary protected status. There were two different groups at issue here, Haitian refugees and Syrian refugees. And one of the claims by those supporting the Haitian refugees is that this was somehow race motivated.
Oh, fuck off. So again, I wish, this is what I hate about the mainstream media, is stop treating this like this is a controversial topic. So this is where people kind of like, some people, and again, I use Fox News because I think that they're the least crazy, but they are still just as bad in a lot of ways. And like, seriously, stop treating these people like they are anything other than a cancer that is destroying our country. This is not up for debate. There is nothing to discuss. Call it what it is. Get these motherfuckers the fuck out of our country.
The court did not find enough evidence of that, saying you can't walk forward with an equal protection charge or any of these other claims because you haven't shown that race was an animus in this case, and finding a lot of power for whoever is running the current administration or the current DHS to make these decisions about when that temporary protected status should end. It was a very heated argument when they had it. But again, as you said, it's a 6-3 decision today, a big win for Trump.
All right, talk to me about the 6-3. Because both of them were 6-3 decisions. Talk to me about who in the room and how they saw it, and why
let's hear
victories
this.
today for Trump.
Let's hear this.
Shannon.
You can already guess.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be surprised that these decisions are essentially along party lines. Now, there's a little bit more fracture to the TPS decision. There's some concurrences and different things going back and forth. You know, but what we saw during the arguments actually bled over into a little bit of what we saw from the bench today. Because when they announce these opinions, the author of the majority opinion will make a statement, read and kind of summarize from the bench. The dissent is free if they want to, and they don't always do this. they're free to read as well. Well, it got so heated in one of these decisions. Justice Alito read the majority. Justice Sotomayor read her dissent. That after she read her dissent, there was this unprecedented thing in that Justice Alito then kind of rebutted what she said. I've never seen that happen before. It shows you just how tense things are.
Wow, to be a fly on the wall. All right, now we are still waiting on some major decisions. I know, right?
We the people, we should have full access to these arguments that the Supreme Court is having. We, the people, should have full access to hear their arguments. We should have all the information we need so we can hear exactly what their motivations are.
And you guys have seen all this up close, but the rest of us are just saying that sounds interesting. We are still waiting on major decisions on protecting girls and women in sports against men who identify or boys who identify as women and girls respectively.
Mentally ill.
In public spaces, private spaces.
Again, this is where, again, the mainstream media, they're not identifying, they're mentally ill. Call it what it is. Mentally ill people.
Competing against them, locker rooms, bathrooms, that sort of thing, and birthright citizenship. Set us up for what's ahead, Jonathan.
Well, we're all, of course, waiting those. We also did get a major gun decision today. Hawaii lost its so-called vampire law effort, which was a major win for the Second Amendment, again showing that blue states are proving to be the greatest allies to the NRA by pushing these ill-considered laws that expand Second Amendment rights. So this was a big win. Now, on birthright citizenship, the administration is really at a disadvantage, in my view. The odds do not favor the court overturning that long-standing precedent. On the transgender cases, I think the states have an advantage themselves. The justices seem prepared to support their effort to limit these sports to your biological gender. But these are all cases that they have to work out the details, so things can change in conference. We've seen major cases where justices that seemed on one side.
We got a couple super chats let me get to. Old Salty Dog says, pre-stream Supreme Court tax. Mod Lives Matter, Chat Lives Matter. Hail the 199. Oh, yeah, and Jeremy failed his forklift recertification test due to wearing Crocs. Am I wearing Crocs right now? I am wearing Crocs right now. Thank you, Old Salty Dog. Alex Arrowcave says, get to topics, streamer, meta PC code 199. You see that, Og Dog? You have created a meme that will live on forever. That's how important you are now. Space Monkey says, Space Force will no longer recruit Marines. They kept trying to breed with aliens. What's up, Space Monkey? I am Brockatron says, open lobbies or just solos tonight? We're just going to run, it's me, X-Wing, and Beardo. So we are going to we're still just getting our feet wet on everything. If you guys want to join our lobby, you can. There's not going to be a lot of people. It will be on PS5 tonight for Titanfall. Lying Dog Face 20 Soldier with that gifted membership. Thank you. Little Jim Taylor says, F these traitorous activists, judges. Yes. Yapping Tom says, love the thumbnails. Love GTA like Jared loves Nolan. Yeah, I think I'm going to make some more GTA level Trump thumbnails. I think those are going to pop very good. I think people will like those. Zinni Biscuit says, all the illegal immigrants have to go back except the Scots. The Scots can stay. We could put the cones on the statue downtown. Thank you, Zinni Biscuit. Mod Eric says, want to piss off the libtard when they are talking about Trump deporting people. Just agree and say, yes, Trump is never going to catch up to Obama on how many he deported. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that at all.
Side switched in the very end. But that's really where the predictive odds are, I think, right now.
You know, in covering this really cultural divide right now that we're in over boys and girls, and
there's no cultural divide. There's literally no again, Fox News pushing propaganda. It's a 95-5 issue. There's no cultural divide over this. None. Zero.
And women in sports. Shannon, one of the things that we've seen happen, and
Dan says, drink every time Jeremy Ray shows Angry Joe on X. It has been pretty funny, hasn't it, man? It's really, at this point, it's just too easy. It's way too easy to ratio him. So,
you know, you don't know if one thing is kind of affecting the other. Is that you've got the Olympic board, you've got other entities saying, yeah, we're going to just look at the science in this. We're going to look at, you know, what really drives this more just kind of away from the cultural and the opinions. Does that take over? Does that affect the U.S. Supreme Court?
Well, there's always a conversation about what the science says. So those who are challenging these laws that say if you're born biologically male, you cannot participate in these female leagues and sports programs, they said, well, the science isn't settled about exactly what happens. They're arguing that if you have not gone through puberty, if there have been puberty blockers and those kinds of things, you're not going to have the same advantages. The folks on the other side, West Virginia and Idaho, who are backing these laws and passed them at their state level, said, no, there's a demonstrable fact here that bone density, muscle health, small twitch fibers, all of those things are going to benefit somebody who was born biologically male. I agree with Professor Turley that I think those probably will be wins for the states. We'll have to see. We've got a couple of election cases, too. How many days past Election Day can you count mail-in ballots? That's a big headline, too.
That's a huge question right now. And if we're going to just look at California real quickly as an example, how long did we wait? And that was a primary.
Exactly. And so this case on the ballots came out of Mississippi, and they're arguing. Yeah, and sorry, Professor, not to jump on you there, but yeah, the case out of Mississippi, they're counting several days past Election Day. But Professor, I'd be interested to see what you thought about those arguments, because they went differently than I thought they would.
No, Shannon, I agree entirely with your take on that.
So anyway, we're not to listen to the rest, but you know, obviously Trump is he's going to get to work now, and thank goodness that he's not blocked from this. He's been blocked so many times on so many of these different scenarios, and we're sick and tired of seeing that. But again, I bring up the fact that it was a 6-3 vote, and that means there's 3 people that literally hate the United States of America on the Supreme Court. Don't forget that. That is terribly, terribly frightening. And it just shows you how bad things could have went if Trump did not win in 2024. Scary times indeed. All right, I want to talk about something that is very, very concerning to me. As you guys know, this is a topic that is going to be a little uncomfortable for me to talk about. I get really angry when I see misogyny online. When these male influencers just talk bad about women because they exist, it bothers me. It really bothers me. And I think we need to do better, Senator. We need to do better. Misogyny has to be called out. And I am going to stand tall and make brave and stunning stances against misogyny. And that brings us to a social media influencer who is spewing vile hatred towards this poor woman because she exists. Angry Joe hates women in movies. I can't believe this. All because a woman exists. Angry Joe is very angry. All because Supergirl and Millie Alcock was in a movie. And Angry Joe puts this face up there. Look at that. That's the face of a man who hates women. What did women ever do to you? What did all women are doing is existing. They've lost all of their rights under the Trump administration. They literally can't leave their house. They can't do anything since Trump got elected. And here's one woman who actually gets to star in a movie and live her dream as Supergirl. And Angry Joe is disgusted with the idea of a woman leading a movie. Incredible. While Trump is literally silencing women all over this country, one woman stood above and said, "No, Donald, I'm going to be Supergirl." She told a story. I might get a little emotional talking about it. But when she was a little girl, her mother, because her father was no longer in the picture because men are terrible, her mother was taking her out for a stroll. And a soldier who just returned from war was walking down the street. He dropped his flag pin. Little Millie picked up that flag pin, looked at that soldier, and said, "Even though Trump isn't here, one day he will ruin women's existence. And I hope that you will stand against the misogyny." She handed that flag back to the soldier, looked up and said, "Freedom." Emotional time. Angry Joe, he doesn't think that's a good story. He doesn't think that's heartwarming. He doesn't think that she deserves to have this movie because she's a woman. I didn't rehearse this at all. I'm literally making all of this shit up as I go. I can't believe I got all that. I did not have any of this planned. I literally didn't. I just winged it. With that said, Angry Joe hates this movie, and well, Joe, total chud victory because I watched it, and oh my goodness, it was terrible. It was a horrible, horrible movie. This is my review on Criticlist for Supergirl. I saw it today, and I'm going to read you my review on Criticlist, which I gave a 15% out of 100. I went into this movie with the lowest possible expectations and still left disappointed. Holy fuck, it's bad. Current Hollywood simply can't tell a female-led story without pushing some level of identity politics and or propaganda. Millie Alcock isn't the worst part. In fact, I didn't completely hate her in terms of her performance. It's everything else that I hated. If she wasn't so annoying in the press interviews, I'd actually feel sorry for her because they did her dirty in this movie. So the story is absolutely pointless and the writing is impressively horrible. Crypto is annoying as fuck. I typically can't watch sad dog movies, but I don't give a damn about this CG dog. I really don't. Jason Momoa plays Jason Momoa as usual. The villain is truly one of the worst I've seen. Absolutely painful. There's zero reason for this movie to exist. It doesn't tell a story worth seeing, and there's no real development. Let's just call this movie what it is. Feminist propaganda, plain and simple. That's what this movie is. It is feminist propaganda to a T. That is why this movie was made. That is exactly it. No other reason for this movie to exist. They simply said, we need to make this movie so that we can tell a feminist story and virtue signal. And overall, it is sitting at a 29% on Criticlist, 33 votes in. I gave it a 15%. It's bad. It is real fucking bad. So that's Mike. There's Mike. Mike gave it a 30%. I gave it a 15, but yeah, man, it is not good at all. Man, what a bad movie. But the thing is with Joe, and this is what was funny about Angry Joe, is that he virtue signaled for this movie big time. He lashed out at me, Disparu, Drinker, Gary, everybody. He was so angry. Everyone was saying like this movie was crap, and Joe was just, no. You guys are just misogynist. You guys just hate women. And then he watched it and he ended up hating it. So I responded, and this is what Dan Vask was talking about. As you can see, Joe has a 500. He's been racial. Look at the comments. 825 comments. 544 likes. So I responded, And I just put this picture of Gary and I just put laughing emojis. It got 4,000 likes. I didn't even say anything. I just put this stupid picture of Gary. That's all I had to do. It's oh, the internet is so much fun. It really is. But good old Joe, man, he's having a tough one right now. Kata says, doesn't this mean you hate women now, Joe? Isn't that how this works? Yes. Everybody's calling him a misogynist in his comments. It wasn't made for you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's just getting crushed. He's getting absolutely roasted. And rightfully so. So there you have it. I'll talk more about Supergirl at a later date, but those are my general thoughts right there. It's a bad movie, but I will say this, like, even though I went into it, you know, not having a high opinion of Millie Alcock, I gotta say, man, she's not as bad as I was anticipating. But the portrayal of her is so horrible. They did this girl wrong. In fact, I was texting Gary right before or right after, and I said this. This is what Millie Alcock looked like through the whole fucking movie. And if you know, you know. But she looked like Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie, the whole fucking movie. That's all I saw was her as Sabretooth. It's literally what she looked like. And they did her no favors with the close-ups and the angles and all of that, man. I mean, it was horrible how they did her. I couldn't believe it. But I would say between her and Momoa, they were the least, I guess, they were the least problematic in the movie, I guess is the thing. Like, their castings were fine. And I think in a different world with a different director and a different script, I don't think she would be the worst choice for Supergirl. But the way that they treated her in this movie, it was bad. It was very, very bad. But hey, you get what you deserve. I got no sympathy for her whatsoever. All right, so that's that. We got CJ says, it's funny how Joe and everyone who cries about you and FNT does what you do, but they're not as good or entertaining as you guys. Seems like sour grapes. Thank you, CJ. Well, that's what I said the other day when I was talking about Joe, when he called out Gary. Because, like, if you go, let me go to Joe's Twitter account. All right, let's see here. I got to find it. He said on Twitter, he's been trying to tweet through it. Okay, right here. He says, my tweet triggered Nerdrotic so much he had to make a video, yet he doesn't address my point. Instead, he just strawmans that Hollywood is bad. Brother, what? Stop lying to your audience about me. And then he says, how about you speak to me directly? Now, as I said here, I said, Joe, I didn't know you were such a big fan of Gary. Congrats on the shout out. It's always nice when big YouTubers like Gary give shout out to smaller creators, giving them a chance to get noticed. Okay. Now, and then he's, just projecting even more. But the thing here is, how about you speak to me directly? So essentially what we're learning here is that Joe is a huge fan of Gary. Okay. He really wants to talk to Gary. Joe, I'm here to tell you right now. I talk to Gary every day. He's pretty retarded. It's really not that impressive, okay? It's really not that big of a deal. I know you're a big fan. I know you look up to him. I know you're hoping he can grow your channel. I know you're hoping he can get you more views, but I'm here to tell you, Gary's just an idiot like me and so many others. It's not really nothing impressive to talk to Gary, but I'll put in a good word for you, buddy. I'll put in a good word for you. I think that we could, it's like I don't want to speak for Gary, but if we could, I think FNT, we should give back. We should give back. I think this should be Gary's first Make-A-Wish to reach out to Angry Joe and maybe go visit him, and maybe we'll play some video games with him, and we'll unplug the controller that Joe is on, even though he'll think he's playing and Gary can let him win. I think we'll do that. So I'll talk to Gary. I'll see if we can line something up. So we're going to, and hey, Joe, as I've said many times, none of us can grow your channel. None of us can give you an audience. We don't have that power or ability. What I can tell you though, buddy, I'm going to give you a shout out on FNT. And Joe, I'm going to get you to 1,000 subscribers, buddy. I'm going to get you 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to get your channel off the ground because you deserve it, buddy. You deserve it. All right. I'm going to help you out. I've been inspired by Gary. I've been inspired to help less fortunate creators out there. So I am certainly going to help Joe. So we got you, bud. Friday Night Tights, I'm going to give you a shout out. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it, man. Taco Woman Sandy Rapper says, I have the World Cup every year in the USA. That way we can radicalize as many Europeans as possible towards the wonders of capitalism. It is a great thing, isn't it? It is a great thing. Doc Hollywood for 50 says, have you checked on Angry Joe today? Make sure he's in a safe space and not thinking about hurting himself. I'm concerned about his crash out. He is having a tough one, man. And honestly, that tweet, oh no, he tweeted about 6 hours ago. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's still he's tagging Critical Drinker. He keeps tagging, as Dan said, he keeps tagging the wrong Nerdrotic. He keeps tagging the wrong one. This isn't the right account, Joe. Come on, man. What are we doing? What is wrong with this guy? The 1A train finally got his name back. The only video of Joe I've ever watched was him playing Last of Us Part 2. I think about 30 seconds, I legitimately thought he was retarded. So I watched for another 5 minutes, and he confirmed that he is, in fact, retarded. I mean, look, I used to watch Joe a lot, and I've talked about this in some of my Geeks and Gamers videos. I've been watching him for a long time, and I still, I don't watch him that much anymore because it's just tough. But it doesn't change my respect for all the stuff he's done, but he's completely compromised now. I still watch John Campia's channel. I watch Grace Randolph. I watch a lot of people that don't like me or don't agree with me, but I still find them entertaining. Joe, I can't really watch his stuff anymore, though. Jackson with a $10 super chat and says nothing. W. Porter says Epic Mike is simping with that 30% Supergirl rating. You think so? He's being nice. He's a nice guy, right? He's a nice guy. Slane Hope says Fox News is just controlled opposition. Neromoda says, what did a woman ever do to Angry Joe? Honestly, probably not a lot, ever, without an exchange of money. Damn. Yappy Tom says, IG now allows photo replies. My algorithm is Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Miniature Bump thinks says Millie Alcock, except Joe's. SBZ says, someone typed Joe eats corn the long way in his comment. I knew it was one of you fellowship mother effers 199. Cindy Biscuit says, Trump is literally making me give Jeremy money. Let's go, Trump. That's what I'm talking about. Justin Martin says, if this version of Supergirl existed IRL, how safe would you feel? Not very safe. Not at all. Taco Woman Sandy Ravish says Sydney Sweeney needed to be Supergirl. That would make way too much sense. Packy Protest says, I hope you have your Minion ticket. Teehee. I'm going to see it because you dropped a $460 super chat. I mean, of course I'm going to. And I think Scully is here. Scully sent me this. So Scully, this is for you, Scully. I think you're out there.
over
The
the years
View.
on this show, we have had many Democrats on to talk about how much we like them. But every now and then we have someone on that we don't like very much, so we can scream at them. So we invited Vice President J.D. Vance for that today.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. And I just want to say to whomever engineered this stage, great job, my friend. These heifers pop up here every day, and it hasn't collapsed yet. It is truly a spectacular feat of American engineering.
I would like to start by saying the president says a lot of hurtful things about people of color like me, and I think it's racist, and this country has a racism problem that I think goes back to slavery.
Well, that's very interesting, Sonny. Wasn't it just found out that you were descended from slave owners? Maybe you're the problem with our country.
Well, at the UFC fight the other night, which was awful, one of the fighters made a horrible remark against the former First Lady, which I won't repeat, but the president laughed at that comment. What do you think about that?
I got to tell you, I don't see what the problem with the fight was. Everybody had a great time. I mean, we haven't seen that kind of combat at the White House since Big Mike used to lay this.
It really is freaking me out that this does. It even has JD Vance's mannerisms. It's kind of freaking me out. It's freaking me out a little bit.
Smackdown on Barack.
Okay. So President Trump has called affordability a hoax. He said that, not me. He's pouring money into this ballroom of his and the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the Arch Trump pay, I call it. And a White House cage match. All these things. Why is he doing them when you just, everybody knows that Americans are struggling? What is he spending all this money for?
Joy, he is putting money towards the ballroom because he wants to have large balls, okay? And the only hoax I can think of is the fact that every libtard named Joy is never joyful. You should really change your name to what you are, miserable.
That seems very offensive. What even is a libtard anyways?
Anna Navarro is one of the most annoying people. And I don't know if it's just me, but Anna Navarro is one of the first people that I truly saw TDS through. Now, I'm not saying she was the first, but I am saying that she was one of the first, and she may be the most prominent one that comes to mind for me, of the first person that I remember, where I'm like, this person truly is deranged.
Well, Anna, quite simply, a libtard is when a normal liberal like all of you used to be loses the small amount of brain cells you had and decides to just hate on Trump, and you can't even give a reason why.
Trump is bad because Trump did bad things. Because there are a lot of bad things that Trump did, and there's so many, and I can't name any of them. But there is a bunch of bad things that Trump did because Trump is bad, because Trump did bad things.
We're going to leave it there. That's for Scully. Hail to Scully. Always sending me those videos right there. But the JD Vance, it's way too on point with his mannerisms. It freaks me out. We are cooked with AI. We are absolutely cooked. It's over. We are done. I can't even imagine what we're going to look like in a couple of years, much less 5 or 10 years from now. It's terrifying to even think about it. Jay Hamilton says, I would rather they make a Sydney Sweeney Power Girl movie. Is it, I don't know how to say your name, but thank you for the becoming a member. Thank you. Owen, bring back McCarthyism. I hate commies. God bless America. Let's see here. Garfield's Bizarre Adventures. EVS says he liked Supergirl. Even Angry Joe couldn't defend it. Throat Goat is being contrarian because F&T and Drinker didn't like it. No refunds. That's an interesting opinion. Scully with $100. A big $100 super chat. It says, hail chat. Thank you. Thank you, Scully. I appreciate it. And the chat appreciates it as well. Thank you so much. The best. We need a baby JD Advanced. Let's see here. Jeremy clearly never watched nor played Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon person. I'm not. I never played handheld video games, and so that's where it was very prominent. And once it came to like the N64, it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I never watched it until later on. I did start watching the cartoon though, later on, which I did enjoy some of it, but it was late. I was a late bloomer on that. Little Jim Taylor says, did you see the Antifa Terry cell all get charged for 450 years total in Texas at the ICE facility? Leftists are big mad that they were held accountable. I didn't hear about that one, but it makes a lot of sense that leftists are upset about it. Taco Woman Sandy Rever says, Ana Navarro is an insufferable gas bag. Midget Menace says, Jeremy, the baby version of Sonny Hostin from The View, it looks like Journey Smollett, Jesse's younger sister, who's also an actor. Yeah, she's been in a few movies that I've seen. By the way, for those of you that are asking about Zwanny, talk to Zwanny. Zwanny's good. Just taking a social media break, which I always encourage. She's got IRL things going on to focus on. And so she's good, though. So wanted to pass that along. Scully and the rest of the chat was asking about that. So, but Zwanny's good. Dan Campbell was asking, some others. So anyway, hail to Zwanny. She's good, though. She's good. Okay, next up, we have right here. Let me pull it up because I had this earlier. Respect for Zwanny. Absolutely, positively, 100%. All right, so let's get a little bit of update on what's going on in Iran.
Tensions remaining high in the Middle East as U.S. negotiators are working on trying to seal the deal with Iran. President Trump praising progress on the agreement and the impacts of U.S. action.
Thanks to the power and skill of the United States Armed Forces, today Iran has no Navy, no air.
Dude, Trump did so many. I know many of you are probably like, where am I at? And, you know, because Trump's been doing so many things that I wanted to stream, but I've just been so busy with other things. But he has been on fire.
Force, no anti-aircraft capacity, no missile launches, no manufacturing, and their leadership has been obliterated. And for the first time in 3,000 years, we are finally going to have peace in the Middle East.
Trey Yingst is tracking it all for us. He joins us live in Tel Aviv this morning. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey, Bill, good morning. Shipping data tracker Kepler told Fox Business 69 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday, the highest number since March 1st. This comes as America's top diplomat, Marco Rubio, is in the Middle East, meeting with counterparts about the Iranian war and keeping the strait open and toll-free.
What we're interested in is not their press conference.
Big Marco.
What we're interested in is whether...
I like what he says right here. We're not interested in press conferences. We're interested in results.
Free.
What we're interested in is not their press conferences. What we're interested in is whether or not ships are moving. If ships are moving as they should be moving, then that's what we're going to judge and that's what we're going to react to. If, on the other hand, this rhetoric is backed up by actual ships being threatened and ships are not moving, that's a violation of the agreement and we're going to have a problem with it.
Technical discussions between the United States and Iran are set to resume next week, according to the Pakistani Foreign Ministry. The ceasefire between the two countries is moving forward while the focus remains on the strait and Iran's nuclear ambitions. On Wednesday, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte met with President Trump at the White House to discuss the war with Iran and other pressing topics such as Ukraine. Next month, President Trump will travel to Turkey for the NATO summit, but says that European allies let the United States down on the issue of Iran.
We were let down. We didn't need help on this at all. We demolished them in literally the first week. But it would have been nice if they would have said, we'd like to help. I was disappointed with Italy. I was disappointed with the UK. He's now gone. Disappointed with Germany, with France.
He's now gone.
Disappointed with most of them. Spain is a horror show.
We're also tracking developments between Israel and Lebanon. A fifth round of talks is underway between these two countries, but the Iranians today say they are demanding that Israeli forces withdraw from southern Lebanon. Bill?
They are always demanding something. Trey Yingst live in Israel. Trey, thanks.
And a vote to rein in President Trump's Iran war powers falling just short in the Senate. This after several Republicans pulled their support at the last minute.
And they want what they want. They want to make it look like Trump is a coward, and they want to make it look like he backpedaled on Iran. That's what they were trying to do. This is what their motivation always is. And they want very stupid people to buy into that narrative as well.
Celebrated on Truth Social, saying the vote puts Iran on notice. And Senator John Kennedy joins us now. This is one of the topics in yesterday's luncheon. We'll get to the rest of it, but a quick thought about the Iran War Powers Act.
Well, we won it last night. I'm much relieved. You have to understand what these resolutions are. They're resolutions by the Democrats to direct the president to cut and run in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And day before yesterday, one of them passed. And that's why our meeting with the president was like an episode out of Euphoria. He came in smoking.
Dude, Kennedy is wild.
And that's why our meeting with the president was like an episode out of Euphoria. He came in smoking hot, and I'm not talking about his looks. I mean,
Bro, we need him. We need John Kennedy talking every fucking day. That's what we need.
Episode out of Euphoria. He came in smoking hot, and I'm not talking about his looks. I mean, put yourself in his position. He's negotiating with Iran, and all of a sudden, Congress, with Republicans' help, pulls the rug out from under. But we got it straight last night, and I'm very, very pleased. I don't know. I think they're making progress in Iran. We'll know in 60 days.
You've got some patience there, and the president's running out of patience, though, on the SAVE Act. This is something that he said after the lunch yesterday.
You just had a colourful lunch on the Senate, in the Senate. Would you be open to a compromise measure that had provisions of the SAVE Act into a reconciliation?
Not really. No, the SAVE Act should be just a compromise. It's voter ID, it's proof of citizenship, and it's also the mail-in ballots.
There's nothing to compromise. There's nothing to change. Pass the fucking SAVE Act. End of discussion. There's nothing to compromise on.
So he says he's not willing to change the language. This is what he wants. And then you have some senators, maybe people on his staff, but so there are a couple senators who are saying, you should just go for this because if you just keep going, it'll pass. But the votes are not there on the Senate side. Do you think that he persuaded anyone in the room yesterday that is not for passing it to change their minds?
I'm not sure. What I took away in part from the meeting was that the president really wants the SAVE Act. I mean, I think at this point, even your neighborhood squirrels understand that. And I want it too. I offered it as an amendment to our last, in our last vote-a-rama, and I didn't get it.
Even your neighborhood squirrels knows that he wants to get the SAVE Act passed.
Didn't get enough votes. I'm open to any approach that we need to follow. I've encouraged Senator Thune to put it on the FISA bill, and let's vote on that as soon as possible. Senator Lee wants to try putting it on the floor, and his theory is if we just talk long enough, the Democrats will give in. You can make your own assessment of how likely that is to happen. But I'm more than willing to try it. I noticed yesterday, I still think the best way to do it is through reconciliation. Mike Johnson, our speaker, came out for that yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't put a gun to people's head and make them vote a certain way. But I think the president's right, and he's pretty worked up about it.
Okay, let me also ask you about this because it's the talk of the town. It'll be our last subject with you, and it's that the Democrats are watching the far left wing, the socialist wing of their party, press on. Senator Schumer dodged a bit when he was asked about it yesterday.
About the candidates who lost their race, it feels like he's going after establishment folks here. I mean, are you concerned about your own race coming up?
Do you still feel like this is the same party that you once elected you 50 years ago?
We have a great unified party, and we're going to stop Trump.
Are you worried about your political future now?
It's always just Trump. Trump is the answer to everything. It's Trump.
He doesn't like to answer any of those questions.
Don't blame me. I mean, the Bolsheviks are in charge of his party, and they're stone cold crazy. They're living proof that evolution is a slow process. Listening to them just lowers my IQ. As one of your guests said earlier, it's like something out of a grad school coffee shop. And I'm sorry for America, but it'll be the best thing that happened to my party. I mean, because most Americans are going to listen to these pencil necks and say, well, you know, Republicans aren't perfect, but the other side's crazy. And it's up to Senator Schumer and the other reasonably mature adults in their party to push back.
Senator John Kennedy, thank you.
Dude, Kennedy is the best. He is absolutely phenomenal. So, dude, I just saw this on my feed. What? U.S. Secret Service. As threats evolve, so does the Secret Service meet the newest addition to our armored fleet. Bro. We literally are in the Batman timeline.
Protection demands strength, readiness, and the ability to adapt to an ever-evolving threat
Let
landscape.
me have this right
the United
now.
States Secret Service continues to enhance its capabilities with the addition of a new armored vehicle built to support our most critical missions wherever duty calls.
Oh my goodness.
From training exercises to real-world operations, the way each officer and agent is transported plays a vital role in a coordinated mission focused on safety and security. Prepared to respond, ready to deploy, built to support those who stand between danger and those
Hell
we protect.
yeah.
As threats evolve, so do we.
That is awesome. Yeah, I need one of those. I definitely need one of those. So that's awesome. And it's good. It's good to have, badasses back in power. Movie Erotic says, if only a guy got on stage and warned us about Tucker. Well, credibility matters. And the problem with Ben Shapiro, little Ben Shapiro, is that he cried wolf too many times and then nobody was willing to listen to him. But we do have some Tucker Carlson news to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We've got quite a few clips of Tucker Carlson. And Tucker's had a few things to say. Let's start with this one right here. Tucker Carlson, I never understood what MAGA was. No, I never believed in MAGA. If anybody's still hanging on to this idea that Tucker Carlson is anything other than a complete and total fraud, this is your wake-up call right here.
I wonder, Tucker, where this leaves the future of the MAGA movement. I mean,
the future of the MAGA. Well, that's over. There's no future of the MAGA movement. Obviously, we're done.
This war caused the end.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, what is the MAGA movement? Trump has defined it as whatever he wants. Well, it's not a movement. That's a tick. That's a preference.
It's literally the greatest political movement of our lifetime. It's literally that. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime.
It's like, what do I feel like having for breakfast this morning? Well, today it's, the pancake movement. It'll be Eggs Benedict movement tomorrow. Like, it's not a movement. It's just like it's a desire.
But you believed in it.
Well, I never understood what it was. No, I never believed in MAGA. I believe in making America great again. I certainly believe in its literal definition, but its operational definition was never clear. What I believe in is putting your country first. If you're leading your country, of course, its concerns are at the top of your list of concerns, in the same way that your children's concerns are more important, your children's needs are more important to you as a parent than your neighbor's kids.
That's wild.
Concerns.
Absolutely
You're the
wild.
parent.
This guy got up on stage multiple times at MAGA rallies, at Turning Point events. He was at the RNC. He was the keynote speaker at many of these events. Everybody was cheering for him, praising him. And for him to do this is just wild.
Nature. Again, that's just natural. There's nothing crazy or fascistic about that. In fact, any other form of government is crazy and fascistic. Every other form of government is tyranny. That's
what happened to him. Seriously, again, I will repeat what I've said. Like, all I can do is apply a common sense approach to this. Like I try to do everything. I don't have the answer as to what happened to him, but what I do have is common sense, and common sense tells you that you just don't flip like this without a very, very, very lucrative motivating factor. And so it's clear to me, with an educated guess, that he is being funded big time by someone who wants to divide America and someone who wants to drive a wedge in between things, for sure. And on top of that, I'm not totally willing to discredit that he may be setting up for a 2028 presidential run. Maybe. That might be what he's doing.
It's the only legitimate form of government where the leaders put, not to the exclusion of everyone else's concerns, like you don't have to hate your neighbor's kids to love your own. You can love all kids. But if it comes down to it, you put your kids first because you're their parent. And that same worldview has to be the way the U.S. government operates in order to be legitimate. And that's what America First means. And so I will never stop believing that. I think every other American believes that too. The phrase America First scares people because it's like Nazi or something, but like in real life, there's no other way to run a government. And I still believe that. And this war was the most obvious betrayal of that. We didn't go to war to protect our own interests. We went to war to serve Israel's interests. They've said that out loud. So this is not a conspiracy theory. That's contemptible. That's wrong.
So he had that one, but he also has this clip right here that's going around where Tucker Carlson tells Trump, "Shut up, bitch. I don't take you seriously," as he calls him weak in this new interview. What else do you need?
So Trump saw that, and he's again not stupid, and he saw this. He's like, ooh, and he knew right away that this was a massive mistake and that we were really exposed. We could get hurt doing this, and there was no obvious military solution. I mean, he knew that, and so he tried to posture his way out of it. We're going to eliminate you, and after like the 400th Truth Social, they reached the same conclusion that everyone on the globe reached, which is this guy's not strong, he's weak. Strong people don't brag about how strong they are. They just punch you in the face and end the conversation. And my father, who was a boxer at one point, would always say there are two types of guys, and you got to be careful of the second. They're the first who are like, "What'd you say? What'd you say? Say it again." Push you in the chest. You don't have to worry about those guys. And then the guys don't say anything, just knock you cold, hit you in the face with a beer bottle and keep hitting you. Like,
yeah, those people are in prison, Tucker.
Those are the people you need to be afraid of. They're not the posturers. They're not the braggarts. In your,
So emotionally unstable people is Tucker saying, because Trump is emotionally stable, that's a reason that you shouldn't fear him.
And I think everyone knows that intuitively. And Trump is very much, "What'd you say? Shut up, bitch. I don't take you seriously."
This is the same Tucker Carlson who said that he loves Donald Trump. This is after Trump criticized him. This is the same Tucker Carlson who says, "I love Donald Trump and I'll always love him as a human." Now he says this. It's crazy. Now he also appeared on with Alex Jones. Let's hear this clip right here.
I mean, as usual, I don't have any kind of plan or grand strategy. I've never had that in my life. I was asked a question and I answered it directly. And the question was, can you support this? And of course not. I mean, I can't support the Republican Party in its current incarnation for the same reason I can't support the Democratic Party in its current incarnation. They have the same views. the same views on the big questions on the economy and foreign policy. Trump, over the past year, has been essentially indistinguishable from Chuck Schumer on the big issues. And again, just to restate, the big issues are how do you manage the economy, how you decide who gets the wealth, who doesn't, and how do you manage your foreign policy? Where do you engage? What are your priorities? And on those questions, which are the questions of government, with all respect to the trans debate, okay, those are the big questions, they're in lockstep. And I didn't want that to be true. I thought that Trump was an option to that. I thought he was a third option. I supported Trump in 2024, not because he's a Republican, but because he was not a traditional Republican. That's the whole point. And that's why everyone I know supported Trump, not because he had identical views to the Republican Party leadership. He had very different views. And I thought those were the views that were going to be enacted into law and policy, but they weren't. And instead, the views of Mike Johnson, a person for whom I have no respect at all, those views became dominant, the Mark Levin views. So like, why would I support that? I would never support that. Why? Because I'm an American and I want what's best for my country. It's that simple. I'm not being paid by anybody and I'm not being told what to say. I've got a bunch of kids. I want the country to continue in a recognizable way. And I totally agree.
I could flip it on Tucker. The people that say they're not being paid by anyone, why do you need to even address it? Why would you say I'm not being paid by anyone? When people accuse me of being paid, I say, fuck yeah, I'm being paid. It's clearly not. So yeah, I'm working for Israel. I'm working for, Russia. I'm working for Qatar. Whoever's willing to give me money, fucking pay it right now. Yeah. You kidding me? You think I'm doing this shit for free? You think I'm sitting here getting roasted and memed all day long for free? You damn right. I'm getting paid, motherfuckers. So I'll just flip your logic, Tucker, right back on you. Okay? I'll flip your logic. You say that, anyone who says that they're going to do something doesn't mean they're really going to do it. In fact, I saw this from 8 months ago, Tucker Carlson. I haven't even listened to it, but the title of this video is "They're Plotting to Betray Trump" 8 months ago.
People who work for Trump hate Trump, and some of them said it out loud. Here's one of Trump's new best friends back in 2016 explaining how much he hates Donald Trump.
Oh man, so they're going to turn on Trump. That's what Tucker said 8 months ago.
I will not be voting for Donald Trump, and he can thank Roger Stone. And if they piss me off one more time, I'm going to urge millions and millions of you not to vote for him either.
Why were they so mad at Trump? That was a few weeks after Trump announced at that primary debate in South Carolina that the Iraq War was a mistake. Whoa, that was too far. Because any politician who will acknowledge that the Iraq War was a mistake probably won't get on board with the future Iraq War. And that's all.
They're plotting to betray Trump, says Tucker Carlson. That is an amazing title right there. And even like right here, here's Tucker.
The lightning rod. He was no longer the berserker of American politics. Loads of people on our platform absolutely love Donald Trump. They see him as the solution to America's problems. They see him as the great swamp drainer. It seems you have occupied varying positions on Trump at various times. Where are you on Donald Trump now? And particularly perhaps how that relates to the emergence of radical anti-establishment figures within the Democrat Party, notably RFK.
Where am I on Trump now? Well, I love Trump.
Oh, wow.
Personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a huge mistake last November in getting involved in American.
So he loves Trump. He loves Trump. Now Trump is just somebody that's a coward and weak, and he should get out of his face and should not talk to him at all. Like this guy, man, it's crazy how Tucker is just willing to say whatever he wants. It's amazing. Like right here at
I watched the video of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania about 50 times. I think I was one of about 8 billion people around the world who watched it. And the more I watched it, the more it struck me that everything was different after that moment. Everything. And this convention is different. The nation is different. The world is different. Donald Trump is different. When he stood up after being shot in the face, bloodied, and put his hand up, I thought at that moment, that was a transformation. This was no longer a man. Well, I think it was divine intervention, but the effect that it had on Donald Trump, he was no longer just a political party's nominee or a former president or a future president. This was the leader of a nation.
It's really amazing to go back and listen. Also, we have this clip right here of Tucker where he apologizes for saying bad things about Islam.
Are delusional for a bunch of different reasons. I don't think that's an Israeli specific phenomenon. We felt a little bit of that after 9/11 when people bought the lies about there were many lies about 9/11, but the net result was to convince Americans that they were under siege from global Islam, that there were a billion people trying to kill them. I felt this way myself. And many times I said on television, the problem is Islam, the problem is Muslims. Like, they all want to kill us. They're all crazy. They're all in this lunatic suicide cult created by Muhammad in the 7th century. And I believe that. I was hysterical. I believed that. No, that's not true. Nothing about that is true. But I believed it. So it's a little harder for me to judge Israelis when they're like, every Arab, Christian or Muslim, it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews, and we must kill them before they kill us. Like, they believe that.
Dude, Tucker is all over the fucking place. Holy crap, this dude. Scully for 50 says, okay, here you go. Look at there. See there? We're getting paid, baby. I work for the chat. If you haven't noticed around here, that's who I work for. That's who I answer to. I have no other say so. It's simple as that. That's my boss. Hail to Scully. Thank you so much, Scully. BMCCB says this guy's Tucker impression is getting pretty good. Yeah. This guy is he does give a good Tucker Carlson impression that we listen to the real Tucker Carlson all the time. Actually, I haven't looked up any of his tweets actually in a while. Let's see what that guy's up to. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen him in my timeline or anything, so I have to go back and see. What is his name? How do you spell it? I'm going to go through my following list really quick. Oh, here it is. I don't see. Yeah, he hasn't tweeted a whole lot lately, so nothing really. No. Yeah, no new stuff from him right now. So, yeah, we'll check it out when he has some new stuff, though. Ryan Walker says Tucker's heel turn is bigger than Hogan's heel turn with NWO. Damn, that's a big heel turn right there. Jackson Cagle for 20 says airplane. Simple as that. Thank you, Jackson. Appreciate it. Mar Millen for 10 says, I don't like Democrats, but I'm not surprised by Democrats. I despise these wolves in sheep clothing, like Tucker, Megan, etc. They are all just sunshine friends and complete fakes. I agree completely. Knights of Ben says, yo, Jeremy, can you get word to Dan Vass to cover Country Rose for $250? Asking for a friend. I will pass it along to good old Dan Vass. He has assistants and everything. So like when I text Dan, like it's like 4 different people that has to go through before it gets to him. That's how big of a deal he is. So I'll see if I can get that passed through though. 8 o'clock says Tucker, quote, we need to put our children first, unquote. Also, Tucker Carlson, Islam is a beautiful religion and needs to be in America. Yeah, it's such a wild take, man. It's really incredible. Cole Howes says, yes, Jeremy is being paid. Jeremy is being paid by Tomax and Zaymont. Jeremy is a shill for the extensive enterprises. Hail Cobra. Cole, you playing Modern Warfare tonight? You probably are. Zeke, I covered it a little bit earlier in the show. That was the first topic that we covered. Jason says, up for a laugh, watch Can't Be Exposed on Supergirl takes. I will check it out. Taco Woman Sandy Raver says, Tucker Carlson is a snake in the grass grifter. Always has been. Yeah, and I was completely fooled by him. I completely regret being so fooled by that. There was a clip of Ben Shapiro talking about it? What is this right here? What's Ben Shapiro saying?
So I'm pretty sure that it's not about the Republican Party moving away from Tucker Carlson. I'm pretty sure it's about Tucker Carlson moving away from the Republican Party. Again, he has spent the last few months since Charlie Kirk's murder fulminating over whether, in fact, the nefarious Jews were involved, the hummus eaters, and having on every anti-Semite he can find on his program, and theorizing that the president of the United States is run by Israel, and also suggesting, of course, that some of the world's most extraordinary leftists, like Graham Plattner and Zohar Mamdani, are all totally fine. So I'm not sure where the space is for you inside the Republican Party. So I guess I'm glad that he is finally just giving up the ghost rather than pretending that the entire Republican Party must move over to his side. So,
I mean, again, do you guys, I'm curious with my theory about Tucker potentially positioning himself for a 2028 run. What do you guys think about that? And on top of that, it's crazy that I am more trustworthy of Ben Shapiro now than Tucker Carlson. How the hell did that happen? How the hell did that happen? What world do we live in? But yet here we are. Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. You know what else is incredible? Legalize adulthood with a proper 199. Holy crap. Breaking IDOT War Force Unit 199 checking in with more depreciated greenbacks for your MK Ultra YouTube operation. Dave Rubin called. He says he doesn't understand why people don't like Panikins. Panikins have a big bill. He likes big bills. LFG Vegas, baby. Can't wait for Vegas. I am looking forward to it. Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. And 20 gifted memberships. Holy shit. Always rolling through with the proper 199 and the 20 gifted memberships. And you know, last time got real angry with me. Legalize Adulthood was really angry. He was really mad at me. Said, I can't believe you didn't play some Sydney Sweeney. So I have to play Sydney Sweeney now because Legalize Adulthood gave me hell last time. He said, what the fuck am I paying for around here? Certainly not paying to look at your ugly ass, Jeremy. And I says, all right, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It really kind of like it. When he said, I'm not paying to see your ugly ass, I'm like, okay, I get it now. That's pretty much torture for this chat to have to look at me. But now you're looking at Sydney Sweeney and everybody's happy.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Yep. There you have it. There you have it. Boom. I'm certainly paying attention. Not to you guys in the chat, but I'm paying attention. And it's very, very good. We got another proper 199 from Aided Clock. A proper 199 for Senator Kennedy. We know why you're thinking about Euphoria. Dude, I can't believe Kennedy made a reference to Euphoria. Where did he make that reference at? Let's back this up. Where did he make that reference?
I'm open to any amendment to, I mean, I think it's
not for passing it to change their minds.
Hang
Senators
on the Senate back into a reconsideration.
Was it
Ron,
here?
and all of a sudden, and I'm not talking about his looks, Democrat.
Exact.
Well, we won it last night. I'm much relieved. You have to understand what these resolutions are. They're resolutions by the Democrats to direct the president to cut and run in Iran. And day before yesterday, one of them passed. And that's why our meeting with the president was like an episode out of Euphoria. He came in smoking hot. And I'm not talking about his looks. I mean, put yourself in his position. He's negotiating with Iran, and all of a sudden,
there's like so many people, especially Fox News viewers. There's so many Fox News viewers that are not going to understand that reference. They're just not at all. Someone, Movie Erotic keeps saying that I'm attracted to Dana Perino. Yes, I am. A lot of it's because from when Dana Perino was the White House press secretary. Okay, that's the Dana Perino that I remember back in the day. White House press secretary days. Let's see. Let me pull that's Dana Perino was on point back then, man. So let's see here. Was this it? Maybe? I think this was around the time frame right here. So that's when she was like her White House press secretary days. Oh, here she is. Here she is at the podium right here. Dana was on point, man. So I was a fan. And she's obviously time has been good to her. So time has been good, and she's married to like a 155-year-old man. So make of that what you will. But I think he is anyway. I don't know. I don't know if he's still alive, but she's married to like a very, very old dude. Like last I looked, I don't know. Dana Perino husband. Let's see. Who's her husband? All right. So he's 18 years older than her. Peter McMahon. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, I wasn't making this shit up. Get the fuck out of here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Is that him? Hang on. That's what Google said. Yeah, that's him. He's old. Bro. Vince McMahon. That's crazy, man. Hey, respect, brother. Okay. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm not going to say anything. I might meet Dana Perino one day, and I just want to be very respectful. Okay. Old as Gary. Thank you, 8 o'clock. I appreciate it, man. And legalize adulthood. You guys are crazy. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. We do have, we got the DC trip coming up soon, and I can't wait. And I will give you guys footage and coverage of that as I can. I do have my suit picked out, and I did send a message to my, my contact. And I'm trying to find out. I asked for permission to wear my MAGA hat. Do I have my MAGA hat in here? Do I have? No, I don't. Anyway, I asked for permission to wear my MAGA hat with my suit. And my contact said, pretty sure you can, but let me double check. So I have an American flag tie. So we'll see if I'm able to wear my MAGA hat with my suit. You're going to show the suit? Yeah, I'll show the suit. I'll show the suit. Benny, no. I told everyone who made it happen. The person that hooked me up with this opportunity is the one and only Sydney Watson. Sydney Watson made it happen. So she's awesome, and I really appreciate her. And I even asked her, I was like, hey, are you cool with me telling everybody that you're the one that made this happen? And she, funny from coming from her, she says, as long as you don't want like anybody hating on you because you're friends with me. I'm like, you kidding me? Come on. So Sydney's great, though. She's great. So I really appreciate her. She did not have to do this at all. And but it was very nice of her. And she's obviously, Sydney has offered to help in a lot of ways with like G&G behind the scenes, because she wants to help. She's not looking for anything. She's not looking for any credit. She just wants to help because she likes what we do. And so she's been very, very helpful, and credit to her. So thank you, Sydney. Really appreciate you. Pat says that my old coworker went back to Brazil last week. He took everything, leaving his wife and 3 anchor babies destitute. Wild. I thought they were all good people. Fuck, that's crazy, bro. Well, thank you, Pat. That's wild. Maybe Dan knows them. What do you think? Heartfelt. Yeah, heartfelt. Yes. All-time great moment right there from her. Dane Miller says, just finished Citizen Vigilante on X. Thanks to Elon. 4 out of 10 film, but I would highly recommend. Yeah, Elon posted the whole entire film on his X account. Neuromoto says, my prediction is that he is 10 months away from switching parties, if not sooner. Talking about Tucker, you're probably right. Taco Woman Sandy Rever says, Tucker is being paid to drive a wedge between MAGA. I agree with that. Little Jim Salo says, the best I could do, streamer. That's okay. I appreciate it. Ada Eric says, the mods that need money to pay Jeremy, not to stream. By the way, on Tuesday night's main event, this is very important. Tuesday night's main event this week, we are officially dropping the link to the Geeks and Gamers Cruise 2027. Okay? Dropping the link. It's happening. Okay? And limited space available. I am very curious for those that, and I would like to be like as serious as possible. Are you interested? Are you interested in this? Are you interested in this cruise? Because I'd like to know how many people are seriously interested, because and I mean, like, are you seriously thinking about going on the trip? So right here, just let me know yes or no. That's going to be very helpful. So 2027 is when it's happening. And I've also said this, use this as a motivator. If you are trying to get in shape, use this as motivation. You got a year. Okay? A little less than a year, but you got plenty of time, and this could motivate people that need to get in shape. You want to look good for this 3-4 day cruise. So, a cruise to where? It will be to the Bahamas. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. Someone tell Beardo, start walking. Yes. Krista will be there. Most of the G&G crew will be there. Most of the, like, I mean, obviously things might pop up, but like the plan is for most of the G&G crew to be there and some other people that are in the sphere as well. But again, this is so far off. So some people, I'm trying to commit to get to some people there, but yeah, as many of the G&G crew will be there and then some. So we're going to try to make this a huge event. And Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier, I've already said, it will not be a carnival cruise. So to answer your question, it won't be a carnival cruise. So I can confirm that right now. So there you have it. All right. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited about this. I'm excited. Okay. Where did we leave off? VJ says, I told you, never trust a man who's worn a bow tie. You were correct about that. Blackjack says, the free SC, was it a Supreme Court identifies as, Super Chat, I'm sorry, identifies as a proper 199. Only libtards would disagree. Movie Erotic says, was Lobo good? Which animated DC movie is your best? Lobo was Lobo. It's Jason Momoa, man. Like, I have nothing against Jason Momoa. I like him as an actor. I'm a little burnt out on Jason Momoa playing Jason Momoa in every movie that he's in. I'm a little over that shit. I don't dislike the guy, but I'm tired of it just being like, hey, there's Jason Momoa being cool again and being Jason Momoa. It's just annoying at this point. So I don't know, man. Eric says that no Crocs dress shoes, Jeremy. I'm going to try. That's right. Cole Hunter says, I have no choice. I have to be on the cruise. Jeremy said so. Exactly. Mark Miller says, I'm getting in shape because I'm a giant fat ass, not for a bunch of other guys who support Bro Island's manly ass fuck movie hour. Down 70, got more to go, but working on it. Get your ass in shape. There's going to be chicks on the cruise, Marmillin. Get your ass in shape. Show up and impress the ladies, okay? Simple as that. Make it happen. All right? Make it happen. BMCCB says, Fig, I spent 20 years of my life on and off boats. This is the last thing I want to do. Will Jay be there? Yes. Jay will be there. Everybody that's like everybody G&G is going to be there. And for the record, yeah, we're like the main G&G people, we're getting them covered and all that. But yeah. Bearded Sports Psych says, I bought a couple of Trump collection neckties years before he ran for president. I wear them to weddings, funerals, interviews. You jealous? I know exactly what you're talking about because they used to have those like in Ross all the time. I remember those days. Movie Erotic says, answer the second question. Oh, DC movie. I'm a huge fan of Under the Red Hood. Under the Red Hood is fantastic. There's so many good DC animated movies, but Under the Red Hood always stood out to me. I also like Dark Knight Returns. I think that's very good. Cole Hauser got that one. Mark Raleigh says, will Shaniqua and her crew be on the cruise? Not a Carnival cruise. There you go. Mark Raleigh says 95% of Muslims give the rest a bad name. East Coast Host Boy says he's clearly got money. Ain't no other reason he's actually old enough to be Dana Perino's father. That's why he looks like her dad too. Ain't no way. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. And again, thank you guys for the proper 199s. You're insane. 8 o'clock, legalize adulthood. Scully for the 100. Legalize adulthood for 20 gifted memberships. We are running Titanfall 2 tonight over on D-Day Cobra Gaming and on D-Day Cobra Kick. So let's see. Tub says, let's talk Vegas. Can we get Beardo to ref a midget wrestling match? It's a thing at a nerd bar on Fremont. I'm going to be honest with you. This sounds fucked up, and I want to make it happen. I'm going to be honest. This sounds really fucked up, and I really want to make this happen. So, yep. I'm going to have to see if I can work this out. Dude, that would be content gold. Holy shit. That sounds like a baller idea, Jamie. Make it happen. It really would. Stream it. That would, man, that would be a super chat record. Super chat record right there. It would be absolutely incredible. Yeah, we get Kata. We get Kata involved too. No, you know what? It would be better if Kata was the ref in the midget wrestling contest. And then there's times where maybe the other midgets are thinking Kata is their opponent because he's the same size. Just saying. Let's see. No prices have been announced for the cruise, right? No, but like it's going to be your typical cruise price with a slight upcharge. That's pretty much what you're dealing with, because let me explain to the best of my ability. Now, how this works is we are going to have a certain level that, like, we're going to do. I hope I'm not speaking out of pocket here. We plan to do like panels and Q&As and different like events that are going to be specific to the people that are there for Geeks and Gamers. And so you'll have a badge and you'll have access to certain, things that we're doing. But so there's going to be a small upcharge for that outside of just the normal cost of a cruise. But we're going to add value to that. So not only are you going to be there for the cruise and you'll have all the amenities that comes with that, but then there's going to be what we're doing. And the only people that are allowed into what we're doing are the people that came or, through our code and everything like that. Now, the other thing is the more people, like the more cabins we sell, the more control we have over the ship. Now, none of us are anticipating being able to sell 500 cabins this time around. However, in 3 years from now, if we could sell 500-600 cabins, we may be able to control an entire ship. And the entire ship is what type of entertainment we want to provide. So that's the goal into the future. So that's the long-term, view of it, which would be freaking crazy. Like, could you imagine if we put on a whole fucking like con on a ship? Holy shit. Are you kidding me? The whole thing would be hours. And then I would get Kata or Ripa or Cole Hauser or Mike. One of them would do the look at me. I am the captain now. I would totally get them to do that if we controlled the ship. Look at me. I am the captain now. So, but yeah, we're very excited about this. Two Tires says, just throwing this out there. If you speed up the Tucker reels with the inflections in his voice, he sounds a lot like Ben Shapiro. That's kind of scary. Okay. Hopefully you're going to come over there and hang out with me over on Titanfall on D-Day Cobra Gaming. If not, I appreciate you hanging out with me. But it means a lot that you guys watch the gaming streams that do. Titanfall 2 tonight. I'm going to play with Beardo and X-Wing, and I don't know if anybody else is going to join in. If you have Titanfall 2 on PS5, you're welcome to try to join the lobby. Kate says, hey, Mage IDOT, maybe some of us would buy up Sabaton. You want me to see if I can get Sabaton to perform on the cruise? What do you guys think? You think that'll? I don't think they would show up. I think Sabaton would hate me. From what little I know about Sabaton, I'm pretty sure Sabaton doesn't like Trump. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Titanfall, nah, man. Real men play Fortnite. The Tub says, look up Micromania Micro Square Garden in Vegas. We, the chat, would sell that shit out. I'm going to look that up. All right. For Kate, we're going to end on Sabaton. Okay. East Coast Hosted Boy says, damn well we wouldn't see Kata over the counter on the ship. We get him off the roster. Hearing that line and seeing nobody there, he's behind the counter. Collider says, my goal is to get a green parrot and dress Ryan as shipwreck for the cruise. Bro! Holy shit! Cole Hauser. Oh my goodness. Dude, I'm not bullshitting you. We will do this. All right. Let me tell you all a little secret, okay? Ryan will be, don't tell anyone else, okay? Ryan will be on Tuesday night's main event this week for our cruise announcement, okay? When we make the announcement, I want this recommendation made. So when he's live, we can say, Ryan, you're dressing up as shipwreck on the cruise. It's happening. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be great. All right, guys, we're going to leave with Sabaton. You guys have a good evening. I'll see you on the gaming stream. If you're interested, this is for Kate. Have a good night. And I'll see you on D-Day Cobra Gaming for Titanfall 2. Bye, everyone.
Time to rule at last. 15 years have all been
Thank you, River Miles. Hail to you for the $50 super chat. Thank you. If you guys want, I'm about to go play some video games. I'm going to play some Titanfall. So I'll see you over there. Thank you, Kate. Thank you to the chat. The best chat on the internet, and it's not even close. See you guys in a few. Bye, everyone.